Unfortunately, everybody gets super bullish at the top and super bearish at the bottom. However, we did speak about this possible drop on Bitcoin as we are currently almost have gotten like 70% our way down from the previous, amazing pump we had from the beginning of January of 2026. We had Bitcoin jumping and pumping from 87 all the way higher to 95. Not only do we talk about it, but also perfectly longed the close to about it, I'd say. But later on, I did speak about the possible, fake out, also not getting super bullish at the top, not giving longs at the top, and also potentially waiting for lower. We did say that if Bitcoin loses 93k as it did so, we are going to be extremely cautious and wary of a potential reversal lower. I told you guys that whatever goes up fast can also go as quickly and as fast to the lower side. And I also told you guys that whatever happened on Bitcoin on the lower time frame of us going from 85, even from the low of 84.7 all the way higher to 95 or 94.7 to be precise, it's nothing, to be honest, super bullish. It is amazing. It is good, to be honest, because we managed to get and got two amazing longs. But to be honest, it is not something like different from what we had seen previously off of this little local consolidation. We have been consolidating, guys, for the past 2 or I'd say month and a half or so, as you can see. However, unfortunately, everybody that trades patterns, everybody that looks at indicators gets super bullish at the top, whereas Bitcoin is not doing something different. I told you guys that even when I was talking about the possibility of me wanting to short 87, me wanting to short 87 or 97, sorry, does not mean that I'm expecting or predicting and longing blindly at the top of Bitcoin. I've been saying that I'm bullish, waiting for higher ever since we have broken out of 89k, managed to call every single high. However, just to be transparent, I did say there is a more chance of probability of us taking the high, but we didn't end up being shorting the high. However, not shorting the high does not mean nothing, because at least we avoided this drop that happened yesterday, because yesterday I did make a little quick video, and that's a little 12, I'd say, minute or so, 11 minutes, where I said what no one will tell you about Bitcoin's rise and how us losing 93k was probably the beginning of the end of this amazing rise. We later on lost 91.5 and currently we are below 90k. I'm going to be mentioning and explaining a potential short, even though probably I won't be ever exactly calling the bottom and the top. This is not my, to be honest, my duty. It's not my goal to be calling tops and bottoms. I will be trading with the trend. So right now I'm going to be covering the best possible scenario for a short, and also some important ideas in case we are looking to long, where I'm going to be waiting for, am I too bullish or bearish right now. Let me cover every important fact, because obviously right now we are in a little downtrend. I'd say little, but it's from like 94.7 all the way lower to 90k or 89.8, and using the confluence of the indicator, or sorry, the tool, not indicator, anchored view up, which is taken from the top, as you can see. And we got the high of the day with the NPUC and a point of control. I am probably waiting for a potential little short scalp, not so little short scalp on Bitcoin. If we hold and flip 90k, I wouldn't be looking to long, to be honest, but I would be looking to maybe potentially fade the move, get an anchored view up, fake out of the high, and potentially take it all the way lower. So see how beautiful it is to not try and act as if you only have to short the top. We didn't short the top. I was just waiting for an extra, I'd say 1k move all the way higher, back above 95, 96k. So I didn't catch the exact top. However, I'm always prepared to get something like that, where we downtrend, find a local pump, catch the short, and then continue lower. That's obviously in case Bitcoin decides to go back to 91.5. This is not a prediction, but rather a scenario based trade. And also regarding the next best support, now obviously Bitcoin has done something that is bad a bit, which is actually not only losing 91.4 but also losing 90k, the area where I said I might be looking to long, as you can see. And currently where we're sitting, we either hold on onto 89k, 90k, manage to flip it, as it is, I'd say, the Fibonacci golden pocket taken from these lows. So I'd say the current support zone, which is I'm not going or planning to long, is at around 89 to 90k. This is the area of interest on Bitcoin for at least potential help of not going lower. However, personally, and to be honest, literally, if we never reclaim 91.5, I'll be more expecting a drop lower, probably even going back to 87, taking the lows and also leaning towards 85.5. So right now, I'm not planning too long. I'm not too bearish. I'm not too bullish. I'm rather just waiting for the market to show its hands. I would much rather focus and miss on any kind of a pump, because obviously we are technically at a logical, psychological also support zone. Personally, I'm not interested in whatever happens of a pump. The only pump that I'm interested in is actually a pump that could offer me a potential short. Other than that, I'm going to be waiting for lower. But obviously, as I thought, you guys, me waiting for lower does not mean I'm expecting and predicting lower. I merely don't have an important support to want to long. I obviously have 89k, which is actually the anchored view I pulled from the low, as you can see, sitting at 89k with the MPOC. I also have an MPOC at 88. I have a daily at 87.5, but also context does matter. And with the reaction of the top on Bitcoin, us taking the high of the range high, I'm starting slowly but surely, maybe getting convinced we are potentially going to be forming a parallel channel. If I quickly show it to you guys, as you can see, with us or with that being the top, as you can see, we can be maybe potentially prepared for Bitcoin to take out the lows at 80k, 78k. I'm not saying that this is a prediction. I'm merely saying that this could be something that would happen, and if it happens, I'm going to be actually very planning ahead and also probably like waiting for it, because that would be a wonderful not only short to be taken to target, but also a potential long once we take out the lows. Why? Because most beginners fail to understand that Bitcoin usually likes to consolidate in a price action range. Most of you guys get super bullish at the top when we never did or did something different, and most of you guys will and would get super bearish and super scared once we get at the bottom of the range. So trust me, this will be an amazing long, not a prediction, as this was not a prediction and not a short either. I'm merely just explaining how the market could actually fake the most amount of people by taking now the lows, as we have done with the upside on Bitcoin.